Hey, do you mind, and we know each other through our hypnotherapy training, but do you mind sharing your hypnotherapy experience with people, how you found it?
Yeah, sure. I love hypnotherapy. I think overall, like even the self-hypnosis kind of avenue, it can be really quick and changes can happen really quick when you're open to it. So I'm grateful for the training that I've done and obviously meeting people like Narelle that does it, because even being as a hypnotherapist, I like to have hypnotherapy done and, experience what other people offer as well, because, even though you can do it on yourself, it's always nice to have a facilitator and go through a process and take time out for it.
So Shay, that's a really interesting point. And I'd love to open up the discussion there around using self-hypnosis versus working with someone. So it's one of the questions that I expected that would come up tonight. And I guess I see it as a little like, we all know how to eat healthy and get fit, but yet we sometimes hire, a weight loss coach or a personal trainer because it gives us a level of accountability and focus that we may not have otherwise. Do you agree?
100%. 100%. Like accountability for it as well, like making that decision to show up for yourself. It's like the technology work that I do, like no one's sitting here going, you've got to do it, but I know how important it is, so I do it. With hypnotherapy, because it's self-work, as I said, it's like when you go to someone else to get the work done, if you will, then you open up your possibility of making shifts that you might not be doing for yourself.
I guess you're more invested if you're going out your front door or making the time or spending the money working with someone, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I'm just going to give it another 2 minutes and then we'll get started. Does anyone have any questions about what to expect tonight? Are you all comfortable with me recording the session? Thumbs up.
Yep.
And any questions?
I suppose, but who will you be sharing the video with?
So it will only be people who have registered that weren't able to attend. So people within the Whole She Collective group.
Okay. Yeah.
And once I start presenting, you won't be on the video. It will be myself and the screen that I'm presenting. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Great. So in that respect, Deb, people aren't going to be looking at you and your space. Cool. All right. So we might get started. So tapping into the power of self-hypnosis to achieve your goals. And this can be as powerful as you're open to allowing it to be. But it does take practice and consistency. Excuse me a moment. So self-hypnosis is fast, it's free, it can be fun as well, and it is super easy and it is really powerful. Our thoughts are so important. What we tell ourselves, our mind believes. If we tell ourselves that we're, fat, ugly, unworthy, then that is exactly what our brain will believe. If we tell ourselves that we are magnificent and powerful and magical and capable, then that is what our mind will believe also. Welcome, Chantel. So the words that we use, the imagery that we use, the sights that we see, the visionary we see when we're under self-hypnosis or hypnosis, they fuel our they should fuel our excitement and our creativity, and they should make us feel, because when we have that emotive connection to our goal, to who we want to be, how we want to show up and what we want to achieve, when we've got that emotional connection, that is where the magic happens. So in terms of and we'll go through it further down, creating your suggestions, allow them to be fun. Don't think about them too hard. Don't overthink them. This process should be fun and easy and free-flowing, and it can be really powerful. So let's dispel a few myths about hypnosis. So when I first trained as a hypnotherapist, my husband said to me, "You can't hypnotize me." And I said, "You're absolutely right. I can't, because you don't want that to occur." But the reality is that everyone can be hypnotized. Anyone can be hypnotized. And in fact, we have a natural ability, and we go into a hypnotic state multiple times a day, every day, and it's a focused sense of attention. So if you've ever driven into a car park at the shopping center and been lost in your thoughts and arrived and like, "Oh, I'm here," that's a form of hypnosis in a natural state. If you've ever been laying on the massage bed and the masseur taps you on the shoulder and says, "Okay, can you turn over now?" And you've got to come back to the present moment. You're not asleep, you're not awake. That is a form of hypnosis. So we all have the ability to be in a hypnotic trance and to be more suggestible and to speak to our unconscious mind directly. But it is a skill that we need to learn. And so at the moment, if you have a look at that hierarchy of competence in the top corner, there's a level of unconscious incompetence tonight if you've never learned hypnosis and don't know how to do it. What we're going to do is move you to the conscious competence stage, but with practice, you're going to get yourself to the unconscious competence stage. So you're going to move to that mastery level. But to do that, you're going to need to put in the work and practice the process and make it second nature. Now, we all have this ability to create new neural pathways. Neuroplasticity means that we can learn new things until we die. So everyone can learn new things, but they don't become automatic for us unless we practice them. And we need to unlearn our old ways in order to make our new, more desirable ways of being automatic. So if we want to learn to, or unlearn to, eat the packet of chocolate biscuits and replace that with a cup of herbal tea, it's not going to happen overnight. And the practice or the habit of, having the chocolate biscuit is going to be deeply ingrained. So perhaps it is linked to the habit stacking of the kids are in bed. This is me, by the way. Kids are in bed. Husband's gone quiet. He's reading something. I'm going to sit on the couch and I'm going to have a glass of wine and a piece of chocolate. Now, if I wanted to replace that habit, I need to have a desire. I need to have a focus. I need to want it more than the alternate reality. So to use the power of self-hypnosis, I need to really want to create that change, but then I need to support myself with creating a change in habit. So for me, what I've done is I've sat down with a cup of herbal tea. And over time, I find myself turning the kettle on as soon as I've put my kids to bed and I have a sleepy time tea. I make a habit of getting into my pajamas as I'm putting them to bed, other than tonight when I'm chatting with you all, so that I'm relaxed. I'm in my pajamas. I've given myself the cue that it is bedtime, that it is not eating time. I have my sleepy tea and then go and brush my teeth and I'm ready for bed. And so I've recreated a ritual for myself that is different and more desirable than sitting down and eating the chocolate and having the glass of wine, because it's something that I really desired, and I used self-hypnosis to achieve that result.
Narelle, can I just interrupt? I'm really sorry, but I thought this was about tapping.
It's about tapping into self-hypnosis to achieve.
So it's not about tapping, which is a thing.
No, but I could cover tapping in the future if that's something you're interested in.
I am. Look, I'm really, really sorry, but I'm just not in the mindset of the self-hypnosis. I probably should have read the description more comfortably, but I really thought it would be about, more carefully, but I really thought it was going to be about tapping. And
okay.
So I'm really, really sorry, but I'm going to leave the meeting at this point because I'm just not mentally in the space and
okay,
in the right environment. So I hope you have a great session and might join you on another one. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Christelle. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
So what hypnosis is not, it's not a form of mind control. So, you know, back in the 50s, the American government tried to create the MK Ultra program, and they tried to create mind control soldiers. They used hypnosis and a range of other techniques, including, you know, LSD, to control the soldiers and direct them to perform certain tasks. And it was a very expensive failure. So, you know, if they couldn't do, you know, create a mind control situation with, you know, all of the funds and resources that they had, then we're certainly not going to achieve that here tonight. And there's no pendulums, like, you know, if you were like me and watched Bugs Bunny when you were a kid, they used a pendulum with hypnosis. And, you know, certainly that's a Hollywood, you know, storyline, if you like, around hypnosis. It's also not like the comedy stage show that you may have seen on TV. So I don't know if you've ever, you know, heard of people saying, oh, you know, I saw that and people were clucking around on the stage like a chicken. That's definitely not going to happen to you tonight. So I can't make you, and you will not do anything that is not in keeping with your values and morals and ethics. And the thing with those people on stage is they're there by choice. They are the kind of extroverts who want to get up and give it a go and participate. And they put themselves into a suggestible state and give that hypnotist the ability to give them the suggestion and for them to follow it. So that's not going to happen here tonight. You're definitely not asleep either. You're in complete control at all times, and it doesn't feel different. Like I saw a client earlier this week who said, oh, I didn't feel hypnotized. Well, the reality is that you don't feel anything. So to come having the expectation that you will feel a miraculously different way is really setting yourself up for disappointment. So what you will feel is just relaxed. And the other thing is you can't get stuck in hypnosis. So there's no concern about that. If you were to be in a state of hypnosis, you can snap out at any time. So if someone were to walk in the room or you heard a noise, a door slammed, you would instantly come out of that state of hypnosis. So what is hypnosis? Well, it's a very relaxed state, and I've already touched on that really. And it's also referred to as a trance-like state or a state of focused attention. And what it does is it allows us to bypass our logical thinking, that is our conscious mind. And interestingly, the conscious mind only makes up 5% of our thinking and feeling and being. 95% of what we do, what we think, what we feel comes from our unconscious mind. So if you think about it as the captain and the ship, so if the conscious mind, the logical part of your brain where your strategic and logical thinking happens in the prefrontal cortex, if you're stuck in that conscious mind, it's like the captain steering the ship to a certain destination. Excuse me, I just found a spelling error. And if you think about the unconscious mind, it is like the crew on that ship. Now, if the crew are not following directions and all rowing in different ways, then the ship is not going to arrive at its destination. So what we do through hypnosis is we bring the captain and the crew together and we set them on a singular goal so that they're working together as a team. And that's how we harness the power of self-hypnosis. So the 5 reasons hypnosis is a super skill. Well, it is fast. So self-hypnosis can be used effectively in as little as 2 to 3 minutes a day. So who here has or can find 3 minutes a day to improve your life? I reckon everyone can. You know, we might tell ourselves that we're really busy and that we don't have time, but the reality is, ladies, we sit on the loo, we have a shower, we do the dishes, we sit at the lights. There are so many opportunities during the day that we can couple self-hypnosis with what it is we're doing. So I'd invite you to have a think about the time of day that you could spend 3 minutes, 3 to 10 minutes, depending on what you want to achieve and how much time you have, to implement this new skill. Practice it, make it automatic in order to create meaningful change in your life. And I'll give you a tip. A really great time of the day to do this is in that theta sleep or theta brainwave state, which occurs when you're just about to drift off to sleep or when you are just waking up. So first thing in the morning or last thing at night, like when you're on that massage bed, in that moment where you're drifting off, but you're not quite awake and you're not quite asleep. Those are perfect times when you have great access to your unconscious mind and you can give yourself beautiful suggestions and it will be most warmly received. Now, self-hypnosis is very effective as well. As Shay said, if we are open to it. Now, our mind, our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors affect every aspect of our life. So mastering a skill that helps us adjust our mindset on demand is invaluable. And we can use it to improve our relationship, communication, health, productivity. Really, the list is endless. Money mindset. I don't know how many of you have a certain belief around money. Like for me, I grew up believing that money was impermanent. Money was never there when I needed it. And I would never have enough money, coming from a quite an impoverished childhood. So to come into my 20s and beyond, I had to recreate that money mindset belief. And I didn't have the tool of hypnosis at the time. So really, it's only been in the last 5 years or so that I've really overcome those quite limiting beliefs around money and what I can make money do for me. It's easy. So you can learn the process in minutes, not hours, and it's 100% customizable. And one of the amazing differences between working with a hypnotherapist personally versus, listening to an audio that's, for instance, on the internet, is that it is customizable. Now, even more powerful is to use your own language, your own thoughts, feelings, and emotions to create your completely customized hypnosis suggestions, and they're tailor-made specifically for you. The other thing is that it's totally transferable to all aspects of your life, your career, and your business. So I know a couple here are business owners, others are in paid work. It doesn't matter which area of your life you want to focus on. I recommend initially that you focus on one thing, do one thing, focus on one thing, practice regularly, and then say in a week or 2 weeks, then if you want to focus on something else, to shift. But if we were to leave tonight and say, right, I want to be 20 kilos lighter, I want to be, running a half marathon, and I want $1 million in the bank, it's probably a bridge too far. We're overloading ourselves and really we're setting ourselves up for failure. So narrowing our focus, keeping things easy, and keeping our suggestions simple is actually really where the effectiveness comes into it. So it's limitless as well. So even when our life, our love, our business, or our career are amazing, we can still make them better. There's no limit though, except those we place on ourselves. And ladies, I invite you to be aware of your upper limit. So if your unconscious mind is telling you, well, I can't possibly, and I don't deserve, and oh, that's not for the likes of me, which was a big one that I used to hear as a youngster. Oh, that's not for the likes of you. I can even hear it in my nana's voice, although she never intended it in that respect. Then that's what our brain is going to believe. So if you can dream it, if you can desire it, you can have it. There is a natural progression and small steps that you can take to achieve anything that you desire, but you have to want it, and you have to have a plan, and you have to work towards it consistently. And using self-hypnosis can help install the beliefs and the habits and the behaviors that you need in order to achieve it. And so on that note, knowing that where our brain goes, our energy flows. So if we're spending time and energy thinking about not being good enough or skinny enough or pretty enough or healthy enough, then we're going to focus our attention on those things that we don't want, on the negatives. Instead, I invite you to create suggestions that are positive, that are exciting, that inspire you, and focus on those instead. And, if it doesn't zing a little bit with excitement, then you're probably not dreaming enough. Because if it's just, I want to get up at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, now you may need to get up at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and it might be a perfectly reasonable thing to focus on, but you're not dreaming big enough. So I invite you to be aware of those upper limits that you place on yourself and to challenge them. And at the end of the day, the body is a robot and it's controlled by the mind. So what the mind sees, the body believes. So if you can visualize, imagine, and attach yourself to the belief, the imagery, and the feeling of the success that you want to achieve, then you are far greater able to achieve it. And the best thing of all is that self-hypnosis is completely free. It's always available to you. You can do it whenever you like, however many times a day you like, but it won't work if you're complacent. It won't work if you don't practice it. Just like you can't be an elite footballer if you're not out on the track and kicking goals and handling the ball. You can't think about it, you have to do it. And practice makes perfect. So the more you use this skill, like anything, the better you get at it, the greater results you'll achieve, the more belief you'll have in your ability to create meaningful change in your life anytime you choose. And that's a really empowering thought, I believe. It's an absolute win-win. There's really no downside. So you might be asking, what's the catch? Well, there isn't one. The results will follow as long as you release your reluctance. So if you don't really want what it is you're focused on, I really should lose 30 kilos, then it's not going to happen. If you've already decided and you want something and you want it more than your current circumstance or situation, then you're going to be motivated to make it happen, and your unconscious mind is going to receive that suggestion much more powerfully. You also need to give yourself permission to receive that suggestion. So if we don't believe that we're worthy or deserving of being, slim, fit, and healthy, or wealthy and successful, then we will self-sabotage and we won't get there. And we have to let go of any fear or doubt in our ability to use self-hypnosis successfully. You really can't get it wrong. So I'm going to share with you a process, but it's not a step-by-step process that you have to follow in exact certainty in order to get the result. It is far more important that you're practicing the process, that you're customizing the process, using the ingredients, if you like, that I give you to spice up your own dish. And that's where the fun stuff will happen. So the number one tip for success that I have is, again, keeping your suggestions simple. And you need to frame your suggestions right. So you need to make them excite you. So that emotional connection, if you've ever heard about the law of attraction, ask, believe, receive. Well, I think that the next level up to the law of attraction is and feel, attaching to the feeling that you get when you're going to achieve or have achieved the goal that you set out to achieve. And that's what makes it really powerful. So in all of the imagery for your suggestions, I invite you to see the process happening in front of you, the outcome occurring for you, to feel how you will feel in that moment when it occurs, to hear what it is that will be around you at the time. So the more senses that you bring in, the more powerful connection you will make with the self-hypnosis suggestions that you're giving yourself. It's really important to make those pictures and words positive. And importantly, the brain doesn't process negations. So there's no point in saying, don't eat the Tim Tams, because what the brain will hear is eat the Tim Tams, right? So it's about reframing that and saying, I enjoy eating healthily. I enjoy eating to plan. I enjoy my tuna salad. So focus on what it is you do want and what you want more of, rather than the negative and what you don't want, because otherwise it just simply will backfire on you, basically, and you will end up self-sabotaging. So ensure that your imagery and visions and things are in the present tense. So there's no point in focusing in 3 years' time, I'm going to be, you know, a size 6 and have $1 million in the bank. You know, it's too far away. Our brain really won't process that suggestion. So keep it in the here and now, and build up your suggestions over time. And make sure they're just for you. So if you're a smoker or a drinker or whatever, and the doctor says you must quit smoking and drinking, or, you know, maybe you've got a boyfriend or a husband or partner who says, oh, you know, you're getting a bit chubby, you really should lose some weight. That's grounds for a slap or divorce. Not encouraging violence, but you know, those suggestions, they need to be for you. They need to be highly desired by you. They need to be something that you're focused on. They can't be for someone else. So if anyone came to me and said, look, you know, and this actually has happened to me, I really want you to help me quit smoking. My husband hates my smoking, and he said that, you know, we're not going to last the distance if I don't quit. There was no point working with that woman, unfortunately, because she didn't desire it. She felt that it was a treat just for her, that it gave her something that she desired, downtime by herself. She felt that it relaxed her, even though we know chemically that that's not the case. And so I actually said to her, look, I'm really sorry, but there's no point in us going forward. And I gave her some tips to work on getting to a point where she was ready to receive the suggestions to quit smoking. And I actually haven't heard from her again. So I'm not sure if she has ever quit, but regardless of, you know, what you're trying to reframe for yourself, the suggestions that you give yourself, they need to be for you in a positive light and something that excites you. So let's set your intention if you haven't already. So I invite you to set an intention of something you would like to achieve through self-hypnosis. So what do you want to create using self-hypnosis techniques this week? You feel free to share in the chat, and I invite you to declare it and own it and commit. And that is a signal to your unconscious mind to go all in and to really want the outcome that you desire. Any thoughts or suggestions? Amanda, great. Your focus is on healthy eating. So in terms of creating those custom suggestions for you, again, connecting with the feeling of achievement that you will have once you've eaten healthy for a week or 2 weeks. Connecting with how good your body will feel, how much looser your clothes will feel around your body as a result of nurturing your body more carefully, and perhaps the desirability of the healthy, nourishing food choices that you're making and how delicious they are. Proud, light, more vitality and energy is how you'll feel. Fantastic. So really connecting in with that in your vision going forward. Does anyone else want to share their intentions? No, we'll move forward. So the key to success is around self-belief. Oh, Shay, so feeling amazing and energetic in your body. So every day now I find new ways to increase good foods. Every day now I enjoy healthy foods consistently. Fantastic. And I know you're a pro at this anyway. Great. So self-belief. So in terms of getting results from your self-hypnosis, you might be wondering whether or not you're actually able to go into hypnosis, those that haven't done this before. And I assure you there's no right or wrong way to do this. If you simply follow the instructions that I give you, if you choose not to resist, if you choose to go on a journey with me here today and to follow this process yourself in whatever way you remember it, you simply can't fail. You already know how to go into a state of hypnosis or trance every single day. And so you're leveraging something that you already do but you do unconsciously without purposely going through that process. And a note to yourself, I invite your unconscious mind to consider that you are already deserving, worthy, and allowed to have what it is that you desire to achieve. I invite your unconscious mind to know that you are powerful beyond measure and capable of creating meaningful change in your world, and that you can do that whenever you choose. So before we start the self-hypnosis process, which I'll talk you through in more detail, here is a brief overview of it. So basically, you will look up and to the left, and you want to focus on a spot in the ceiling, okay? And your eyes will flutter, and that's okay. If your eyes are fluttering, then that is when you are ready to go into a state of hypnosis. So then I'm going to invite you to breathe, and we're going to do 3 breaths in and out, slowly and steadily. I invite you to have your hands separated on the desk, loosely, or on your knees. Don't focus them and connect them. Allowing your eyes to flutter as you're looking up, breathing in and out for that 3 cycles. And on the 3rd time, as you exhale, we're going to close your eyelids down. We'll just allow the shoulders to relax. I'm going to drop our chin slightly. Then I'm going to guide you through going down 10 steps. Now, you can go at your own pace as you do this in the future, but for the first time, I will guide you through the process to give you an experience of what that feels like. And this is when I ask you to think it and feel it and hear it and see it. So do you choose to walk down wooden steps towards the beach? Do you choose to walk down rocky steps in a forest? Whatever that imagery is for you, use it. Try to use that same imagery again and again, something that is comfortable, that is automatic for you and that feels good. Hear the sounds that you might hear in a forest or at the beach and see it in front of you. And feel what you might be feeling when you're doing that action or have done that in the past, a feeling of relax and comfort, for instance. And at the last step, when you've taken that 10th step down, we're going to imagine, we're going to drop our shoulders and relax, and we're going to imagine that our arm is being pulled by a pulley. So the wrist has just a little string around it. And we're going to imagine that it is gently being raised up and up and up. Then when we're ready, we're going to allow the hand to fall down. It may not be that dramatic. You might feel it and think it without it actually physically happening for you. But once that you've gone through that process, you'll actually know that you're ready to give yourself suggestions. So again, thinking it, feeling it, hearing it, and seeing it. So you want to imagine the scenario where you are in that moment where you have achieved what your intention is. You want to think about how you feel, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, maybe what you're wearing. The more senses you can associate, the greater and more powerful the results will be. Then when you're ready, and I would sit in that for a moment or for a few minutes really, and you don't have to have the one suggestion. You could repeat the same suggestion. I enjoy eating on plan. I enjoy eating on plan. Or it could be much less specific. It could be, I'm so confident now. I love being around people. I'm a person magnet. Conversation comes freely to me, so that you're building on a story rather than focusing on a single suggestion. Whichever you like to do it and it feels good to you, that's fine. And keep practicing and trying a few different techniques for yourself and see which one you feel is more effective for you. And then when you're ready, and I will guide you, as I said, in the first instance, we're going to return up the stairs. And again, I want you to think, feel, see those steps. And I want you to feel your feet on the steps. Feel the air around you, hear the birds chirping in the distance, whatever is part of that imagery for you. And once you've returned up the stairs in your own time and you've reached that first step, and stepped onto the platform, then you can open your eyes. So how does that feel for everyone? Good? Okay.
Yep.
So I'd like to invite you to just place your hands gently either on your desk or on your legs, depending on how you're sitting, on a cushion in front of you, on the chair next to you. Just take a nice deep breath in. Relaxing the shoulders and looking up and to your left and up to the sky. You might feel your eyes fluttering, and that's okay. Breathing in and out. And as your eyes flutter, when they do, you'll find that self-hypnosis is easy. As you breathe in and out again, each time you blink, that's the self-hypnosis coming upon you. Breathing in and breathing out. And each time you blink, your eyes are becoming heavy, droopy and drowsy. And this time with the next breath in. As you keep your eyelids up, this time as you exhale, closing your eyelids right down now. All the way down. And as you close your eyelids down, allow your shoulders to relax. Now drop your chin just a fraction, like you were looking down the stairs as you step down them. And it doesn't matter where your eyeballs go now. And imagine you're taking 10 steps down, and as you count, it really helps you to feel your feet, hear your steps, and see your feet treading each step right now. 10. Take that first step down. 9. Deeper. And 8. Way down now. 7. Deeper and deeper. 6. Deeper, feeling very, very relaxed. 5. Halfway there now. Deeper still. 4. You are going into a deep state, relaxed hypnosis now. 3. Going deeper. 2. Relaxed to even focus. Feeling very, very calm. 1. Welcome to this deeply relaxing state of hypnosis. And as you stand here at the base of the steps, I invite you to relax your shoulders, the tension in your back, your head, your neck. I want you to imagine that your hand is out in front of you and that there is a string tied gently around your wrist. You can imagine that pulley is pulling your hand up, up, up. It's floating up and it's getting higher and higher and higher. Your hand is gently levitating up higher and higher now. And when you are ready, you can allow that arm to just gently relax. And now you're in a suggestible state and you can go ahead and give yourself your suggestions. I want you to spend a few moments now seeing, feeling, and hearing these suggestions as they're occurring right now. And I want you to make them bigger and stronger and brighter and more vivid. Connecting in with how you feel now that you've achieved these amazing results for yourself. The pride you feel in focusing your attention, achieving your results. The person you're becoming, the choices that you're making. making those feelings even bigger now, those memories, those visions. And in just a moment, I'm going to click my fingers and I'm going to invite you to return up the stairs. We'll return now. Step 1, going up. Step 2, feeling proud of your achievements. Step 3, getting closer to your goals now. Step 4, feeling lighter, more confident and certain. Step 4, nearly there. Step 3, ready to achieve your goals. Step 2, and you're now at the top step. Well done, opening your eyes. So I'd like to invite you to share your feedback or any questions that you have about the experience.
I love it. It's always so relaxing. Like a micro sleep.
And what were your steps looking like and feeling like to you?
Really good, really lighter. Like I could see myself like letting go of the baggage and that kind of like old idea of who I've been and who I want to be, and accessing my energy from when I used to have, so like it seemed like a relentless amount of energy, but just that awareness that that's how I want to feel again. Well, I know that the goal is to look after my body. So yeah, it was really good.
Fantastic. Amanda, Deb, how did you go?
Yeah, good. Yeah, look, I mean, I have felt like I had a micro sleep too. I just love this stuff. Yeah, look, all I could just, I suppose I felt excitement and joy and pride. Really, that's what came up for me with my experiences and just the words that I was saying to myself, the phrases, and just what my future was going to look like.
Beautiful. That's exciting. Well done. And Deb, how did you find it?
Yeah, good. I was kind of jumping down the steps and then jumping back up again.
Bounding with excitement.
Sorry?
Bounding with lots of excitement.
Yeah, I think so. And I didn't have one specific, goal like, to lose weight or anything like that. It was more to trust my path and keep going along my path and keep being joyous and grateful for my path and where it's leading for me, and to continue to be or to become more open and aware of opportunities and things that happen in my life and what that means. So yeah, it was great.
Fantastic. And Debbie, you came in a bit late. Were you able to join in with some of that?
Are you still talking to me?
No, sorry, there's another Debbie on the call as well. Debbie, you're on mute and there's no camera. I'm not sure how much of the call you were able to join. Is everyone excited to put this into practice? Fantastic. So what is the one thing that you'll commit to? Is it practicing this process once a day? Is it practicing it every morning and evening? And what is the focus that you have? What is it that you want to achieve? Is it what you focused on tonight, or is there something else? Remembering really to keep it simple and keep your focus in the one area for this period now until you feel like you've achieved momentum with the goal that you're focused on. And then when you're ready, you can up the ante, you can increase the suggestions that you give yourself or the intensity of them, or you can switch to something different. So perhaps you want to improve a love relationship and your focus is on greater communication, or maybe it's your health and fitness, but being mindful that we should focus on one thing at a time so as not to overload ourselves. So finally, I invite you to just remember that your thoughts control your feelings control your actions, and your actions control events. So when you take control of your thinking, it changes your life. And we are truly that powerful as human beings. We can change our life, our beliefs, our feelings, and our actions at any time we choose. And self-hypnosis is just one tool that can allow us to do that. Thanks for your time. I hope you've enjoyed it. Does anyone have any other questions or want to stay on for a chat?
Thank you again.
My pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. It was simple, easy, and great. It's exciting. Thank you.
Great, you're welcome. Now remember, how I talked you through the process is not necessarily how you're going to do it. I will share this presentation and the recording because you might want to review the steps, you might want to listen to me sharing them with you, but at the end of the day, however you do it is absolutely perfect for you. You really can't fail. You'll just get better and better at it as you practice.
Thanks, Narelle.
I can't wait to hear about all of your results, so please feel free to share them in the group.